Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. I got myself a little bit confused because I was trying to say this is game 2 of a best of 3. It is from IPL 5's Korean Qualifiers. It is super high level games, and well, if you haven't checked out game 1, pause this video, go to my channel, watch game 1. It's awesome. There you go. That's nice and simple, wasn't it? So, we're in game 2. If you haven't watched game 1, you're about to get spoilers, so bear with me, I have warned you. It went to Lucky really well. He defended a big Marine with a couple of Marauder push out of MVP. He went for a 1-max command center. Lucky stayed on 2 bases and held it with Zerglings alone. Really impressive. He then just went and counter-attacked with 46 Banelings. And essentially if you just lost all of your army, 46 Banelings is basically impossible. But anyway, let's introduce these players. We do have MVP. He is the red Terran player in the lower right. And in the top left, well, it's Lucky. Lucky is the green... Green? What am I on about? Blue. Blue Zerg, that is what I'm trying to say. So the Blue Zerg is Lucky in the top left, again going for that 11 of 10, Overlord on 10 rather than 9. Whether it's economically better or not is a matter of deep debate. I believe the final standing was 9, Overlord was better than 10, but to be honest, it makes it look a lot more fancy. If you go like 10 Overlord then an Extractor trick, you can select to get 11 out of 10, it just looks awesome, basically. It's a bit showy-offy. It's like a basketball player being like, I could just shoot normally, but I'm going to do a hook shot just because I can. Or something like that. That's probably a bad example. But anyway, what can we expect from these two players? Well, we do have Lucky coming down. He's going to be getting a 15 hatch, which is the normal norm. Out of MVP, I expect him to again go for a relatively similar timing. I mean, his barracks is slightly... Well, his barracks is hidden. What am I on about? I was looking up here for it. That is a hidden rack right there. It will be interesting to see how that comes in, because obviously to this, it looks to Lucky as if it's going to be a command center first type build, or there is some kind of weird proxy out. It depends where this drone goes. If this drone does come to look down here, it's going to give it all away, but there you go, has been seen now, so that's less of a tell. The command center is still going to go down pretty soon, I would imagine, especially by the fact that there goes the orbital, but the SCV's coming, 300 minerals are there, that suggests there's going to be a command center. Also an interesting placement for the barracks. I mean, it stops a bit of Zergling running around, but I don't really know how exactly it's going to go. Here comes down the Marine to go and pick that off. The command center's on its way down. Again, we've got the Extractor coming down for scouting purposes. It can just be cancelled. Or while that Extractor strays up and Marines are attacking, it means you're not being attacked, basically. That is the big bit of information it gives you. We do have the spawning port on the way for Lucky, but the gas was down first, which means he's trying to rush out speed. And I actually quite like that, because this map is, of course, Antigua Shipyard. If you look from MVP's perspective, this is a really wide ramp. There is loads of space. That means that MVP isn't going to be able to wall off, which means speedling run-bys could be really effective, because even if you put bunkers down, there's a lot of space to run around, harass this mineral line, maybe even force a lift, and that will ultimately mean your income is better than the enemy's, which is nothing but smiley faces. So that is what I predict is going to be happening. The gas was pulled out, only one left mining gas. The SCV are magically being allowed to survive. Not even being harassed at all, but we'll see the only one drone left in gas. That's a big tell. That just means that Lucky essentially just wants to trickle in, not really go anything. 2 would suggest it was some kind of Baneling play. The third command center is out for MVP though, so we see this, well, I say it quite a lot. You get quite a few Korean Terrans who are just command center happy. They just like building lots of command centers at every possible opportunity. Macro is their game, and play it well they shall. Obviously Lucky, if he puts on pressure now, like he's gearing up to, it can be really potent, especially now this third command center comes down. You see that essentially it's just one barracks worth of production right now out of MVP, and that is just going to be a nightmare. These Marines are going round just to basically form a defensive position, pick off any Overlords. That Overlord could get away absolutely safely, but if we take a look back here, we do have 2 Queens out, and we do have 2 more on the way. 1 supply block though, so we're going back up to this 4 Queen number from Lucky, which, as I've said previously, I love. I think it's fantastic. This creep tumor should join up the bases and still keep it moving forward. We do have a 3rd Queen out. Now the 4th Queen is going to be delayed just because of, well, the supply block. A factory is on its way out here for MVP, so this is a really economical focused build. The supply depot falls a wall off here, but of course Zerglings can still run through. No Zerglings in production at the moment. We do have a 3rd base out of Lucky, so it doesn't actually look like he's going to be putting on that speeding pressure. In terms of work count, 27 to 32. When you take mules into account, that should put MVP ahead. Actually isn't though. So it should do. Now mules are coming into play, but again, we've got a third command center. That definitely will mean that MVP is going to keep up economically very, very nicely. In production, we have the Starport, we have the Tech Lab. The Tech Lab actually coming down on the factory. This is probably going to get switched, or I'd imagine it would, but of course this is a big tell. The Overlord does get in and see that. Now, if this does switch, it means Reapers are on the way, which is definitely going to occur now. If there wasn't a switch, it just may have been faster tank play. The Reapers, they could be fun, but there's the Evolution Chamber coming down. Lucky's fully aware of what could be happening, and as a result, is getting that Evo Chamber ready to deal with it. The second Evo Chamber is there as well, just for the double upgrades, which I personally love. I think double upgrades is the way to go. That's my personal opinion anyway. Especially at this stage of the game, around 7 minutes, you know your opponent's not doing anything too much. The third orbital command was spotted as well. That is huge, because even though it hasn't floated down yet, it was a big commitment by MVP. It means he doesn't have that much. Critically, he has no additional barracks, and this is his first tech lab, so he's missing those real key upgrades, stim and combat shield. The double engineering blaze just basically means both players are going to be double upgrading. We do have these spores. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what's the spore doing here and not in this sort of position? Well, the Banshee will probably come in this angle. Most probably the Les just finished. We've also got a spore down here because, again, this is the only route the Banshee can get in. Even if it kites right to the edge, I think it would still just be in range of that spore. But don't count me on it. There goes down the Overseer. Aspire as well now, so this is going to be, well, a pretty quick rush to Muters actually, which again is a good choice, because if your opponent's committed to going Banshees, Muters obviously can shoot air, Banshees can't, but we do now have some Vikings. The one Banshee is on its way across. It didn't actually manage to do very much at all though, as far as I saw. I didn't see it doing any kind of crazy harassment. Third command center is still up in the main base. It's 54 to 48 workers. That still should just put MVP ahead. Or they're pretty even, but there we go. MVP slightly ahead in terms of mineral income, but behind in gas, because of course we are about to get the 5th and 6th gas out of Lucky. Lucky meanwhile goes Baning, so this is really classic Ling Bling Muter. It is the most standard, probably the longest running strategy, so to speak. And well, this Viking, I think this is a great choice. All Terran players should do it. Get just a single Viking out. If you've got a Starport, get it, because you can Overlord hunt. 2 more Overlords having to quickly run away. We've got some, well, flying in the middle, they'll be able to get away, but it just denies your opponent map vision, and if they do choose to leave their Overlords out, it means you kill some Overlords for free. More barracks being added on now, a lot more barracks. We've got, what's that, 5 barracks. We've already got 2 with reactors, a Starport putting out double reactors. We've got the 1-1 upgrades, the armory time perfectly to start the 2-2 upgrades. The 1-1 melee upgrades nearly done for Lucky right now. He's got 8 muters, he's also got that Baning speed, he's got macro hatch. So both these players are getting into super production mode now. I mean, if we take a look here, Lucky's at the 75 drone mark. That is absolutely perfect on 3 bases to just start pumping units. Lucky can essentially just keep flooding now, and it's up to MVP to defend nicely. But these extra barracks, especially with the reactors coming down on them, means his marine production is going to be huge. We've got these missile turrets coming in. I don't know if a scan went off, it didn't, so this is an assumption basically. But look at this creep spread. This is what's really important. We're 12 minutes into the game, and it's basically halfway across the map, and that is due to getting those 2 earlier queens. This command center is or orbital command rather, is probably going to land any second. The 2-2 upgrades started for both players. They're so equal on upgrade, it is actually scary. We've got some spines coming down just in case of drops, which again, lovely choice. But the muters are coming in, the missile turrets are there. When the +1 flyer attack comes in, or the mutant numbers start getting higher, we may see these fringe missile turrets start getting taken out and just focused down. The ones like these can get repaired so quickly at this level, it's fine. And one poor SCV got trapped for a moment. That's when you're happy you can lower those supply depots. Meanwhile, the first tank's only really just coming out. I mean, there's only 2 tanks on the field, so MVP really favouring those Marines and Medevacs. No Marauders though, I don't think. Nope, no Marauders this game, but Marines and Medevacs very, very strong. And yet again, Lucky getting an awful lot of Banelings. So essentially what the aim is here is to pick up anything you can. Doesn't want to lose too many Zerglings. The Zerglings run past. This is the basic strategy. You run the Zerglings past to, say, back here. They prevent the Marines from running away. The Banelings then roll in. And really, along with the Lings, you send the Muters in on a different hotkey to pick off tanks. That is the primary aim of this strategy, and where it excels. Things that can go wrong is if you don't get the Zerglings behind, then obviously you can't surround, and therefore the Marines can split effectively, and Banelings don't engage so cost effectively, especially at the highest levels such as this, because MVP's Marine splitting will be so good that those banelings just won't be effective in the slightest. We do have mutas running around just checking for any drops that may be coming in. I'm not sure if one did actually just go down. I may have missed it. I do apologise if I did. I should have been watching the minimap more closely. +1 flower attack about to go down. There goes the scan. That's going to see the lair is still the only tech. That's really critical. If he saw that Hive was on the way, I mean a Broodlord rush, in which case we would see MVP start getting more Vikings out in order ready to deal with that. But essentially, because he hasn't seen that, he knows that there's just going to be a huge amount of Zerglings and Banelings. The tank's just going to leapfrog forward to get a better defensive position. This one, Marine, critical. It shows any damage being done to the rocks, and if MVP needs to defend the back. But all the tanks on siege, and that is a bad time to do that. Look at all the Zerglings rushing. We've got so many bases. It's absolutely insane. If we hide the health bars quickly, we will just see what crazy damage this is all going through. And, well, those tanks are getting focused down so quickly by the mutas, and to be honest, I think that could almost be game. We've got some big Baneling hits going off in the middle line. Still so many Zerglings flagging in, so many Banelings. Where are the Banelings going to go? Are they going to go straight into the main base? It would appear so. The mutas have cleared out pretty much everything. Now the Banelings just having a bit of an identity crisis. Going to try and go for this SCV line, but not too many going down. We've got more Marines being pumped out. MVP is desperately trying to stay in this because, of course, if he loses, he will be out. But so many SCVs killed now. 27, 29 already down. And although MVP has held this temporarily, his third base has been completely ransacked. And even the Queen wants to get in on the action. Like, let me just attack something. Not going to be able to, though. Just going to sit around now. And I'm just like, I've got Queen dancing in your base. What are you going to do about it? Well, not much. 34 to 72 drones. Workers says an awful lot. These 33 Banelings, well, there's going to be more Banelings on the field than there are Marines. And no matter how good your splitting is, you can't split a Marine in two, unfortunately. But the Banelings can, and that's exactly what they're going to do. These two tanks are not going to be able to defend this. The mutant numbers are getting higher. It was absolutely impeccable control out of Lucky. The Zerglings running precisely right. The Banelings did exactly what they needed to do. The mutas focused down the tanks exactly as they should. And now we'll see Lucky spreading out his units, sending the mutas in just before. Here comes the Zerglings to soak up the Marine fire. And, well, one tank goes down near instantly. Some more tanks coming in. The Banelings connecting absolutely everywhere. And to be honest, I expect this to be GG. And there we go. And Lucky takes this series 2-0. So that was really impressive by Lucky. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, thumbs up the video. That'd be awesome. Subscribe. Even more awesome new games up daily. Leave any comments or criticisms below. The big thing I want to know is best of 3 games, or like tournament games, or just one-off ladder games, best of 1 games. Let me know. That'd be awesome. Thank you for watching though. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again. Bye for now.